Good afternoon, all of my podcast listeners out there. Welcome to Hidden Images Podcast. We're going to be shaking things up a bit with my opening monologue. But before I dive into that, if you know me, if you follow me personally, then you know that for the past 10 years, I have been studying the Spanish language. And not only the Spanish language, but diving into the culture, the people, the food, everything that has to do with it. So it should come to no surprise that I would have Hispanic entrepreneurs, Hispanic guests on my show. So with that being said, welcome to Hidden Images Podcast powered by Next Level Internet Radio. And for the next 2 hours, we're bringing you nothing but the biz as it relates to Hispanic business owners, Hispanic entrepreneurs, and Hispanic culture. Now, today I have a very special guest with me. Her name is Yvonne Faulker, and she is going to be talking all things related to herself and talking about what it means to be a female Hispanic entrepreneur here in the DFW. So go ahead, introduce yourself, and tell my podcast listeners, and just a little bit more about yourself.
Hi, good morning. It's so
Good
nice to be
morning.
here, and it's so much nicer to hear that you want to have that connection with the Hispanic community. I mean, I love that. I think that there is nothing better than to uh, bring us all together, no matter where we come from, what race we are, it's all about humanity and just how we can support each other. My name is Yvonne Faulkner. Actually, I was born in Mexico, and born and raised there. And then I came here to the U.S. at a very early age, and then I just continued studying. I'm a marketing consultant and designer. I guess that's what we had a connection there too, and we love business.
Yes.
And I love to travel. I love to learn. One of my passions is to learn and keep learning, and so I can bring all of this to other people. It's like a person that I like to share what I learned, so that I know if it helps me something, I can help someone else too. So yeah, I mean, you ask me, and we go here in the conversation. I don't want to bore everyone.
No, you're fine. That's how I start every episode, all my interviews. Just dive just a little bit into yourself, and then of course the show will go on. But yeah, let's talk exactly about your businesses. Tell me exactly what it is that you do. Again, I see you have some bowls here. Let's talk about that too.
Balls. Okay. Well, I guess in order for me to continue and tell you what I do, I had to just give you a little bit of my story of how I got to this point. Because to me, everything connects. And like I said, I like to continuously learn and learn. As a designer, my brain was always just creative, always trying to build something. And I have my advertising company when I moved here. And from there, then because of the military, we started traveling around.
So you were in the military?
My husband, my then husband. Then I started to just moving around the States, and then moving out of the country. We went to Asia and Korea specifically. So living as a military wife, it was a very difficult thing to do, because you have to, like, no matter how much you're building, you have to get up and move all of a sudden,
Yeah.
For the military people, they have their space. They go, welcome them, here's your office, sit down. But for the spouses that are left behind, we have no opportunity. So I always had to create my own opportunities. So everywhere I go, I just had to start all over from zero. But that makes me a stronger person, because, the more I learn, the more I move. Every time I started becoming, like, if it used to take me a year to learn the language and to get to know people and all that, I just kind of started making it shorter and shorter. I just go to the point. Just go to the point and start. Skip all the solving part of it and missing, and just go for it. Then we moved to Europe, and I was blessed, to be in Italy, where that was the mecca of art.
It is.
So I studied art restoration in Florence, and just kind of just polish my what I already knew how to do, art, and just having that extra benefit of being with the experts is just an amazing, opportunity. So as I was using art, I came to a very hard part of my life, when we return and everything, just once you've been out of the US or your home, returning is just like a cultural shock all over again. So it's just like, here we go, starting again. And
true. Very true.
So we went through a rough patch, and during that patch, I utilized art as a way of dealing with all my emotions. Using, I was working just because I'm a workaholic, and that was my way to deal with it, but it was just making me sick physically.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had to find something else that was healthier for me to do.
Yeah.
And art was the way where I just put on my pen, on my happiness, everything, in a more emotional way to put it, just an expression. I didn't have to scream because I was screaming it here. I didn't have to cry because my tears were
coming out, reflecting through your art.
Into my art.
I love that.
So I honestly can say that art saved my life. It really did. And as we split, divorced, and then I moved on my own and became a single mother. So I had to take care of my son, and dealing also find out, with him having ADHD and stuff, was also difficult. So art also helped him. I noticed how this his focusing, he was getting more,
So he's artistic as well when it comes to art abilities?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Oh, wow.
And the thing is, you don't have to have artistic abilities in order to do art. And
wow. Because I don't mean to interrupt, but I've never considered myself to be able to draw or paint. So that's why I've never called myself an artist or tried to dive into that, because I'm just still drawing stick figures. So
this is the difference, everybody can do art, just like everybody can cook, but they're not going to be chefs, right? Just because you make art doesn't make you an artist. However, you can make art, and art is subjective. Now, when we're talking about art, it's not about painting, and we immediately jump into a paint.
Yeah, you're right.
Art is, as is defined in the dictionary, is a way of expression done in a pleasant way. Dancing, singing, music. If you watch a movie from home, you're watching art.
Yeah.
And that's a perception that we all need to change, because when you think about art, you think, oh, I don't like museums. I don't go to museums, or I can never afford that kind of, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You just need to appreciate how you watch a movie, how you watch Netflix or anything on TV. That's art.
Yeah.
Cinematography, writing is art. So it's just a way, and you can choose whatever fits you best. But if it's a way that you can put your emotions in and can get your head out of the problems of the daily life, then it's going to help you. This is what took me to go get certified as an art as a therapy and a life coach. Because I knew if it was helping me, it was going to help somebody else in the process. So I started doing that, and then I implement, every time that I paint, I take some time first to think, relax, meditate. What am I going to do, or how am I going to put it? Oh, if I'm a mess, how can I see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
So you have to step back and meditate a little bit. So I've been incorporating these type of things during my classes. This brings me to one of my business that I have, which is a PIX mixer. PIX stands for P, paint, inspire, create, spark. That's what it means. And so we do, open air painting. We do, go to places where it's a restaurant or public places, or you have like a private event that you want to invite your friends, we do that. But I like to incorporate a little bit of letting go everything that you have inside, whether it's happy, whether it's sad, anything is but it's gonna be yours.
Yeah.
I don't like just to go and just paint this line here, then this circle here, Well, that's more technical. You want technicality, I teach you that. But this is about having fun and let go. Something
expression.
That you're gonna, something that every time you're gonna see hanging there is gonna bring you those feelings, So we use meditation before opening, which all of these keep bringing me more and more into other things, which is this what you were talking about. And it's the sound therapy.
Sound therapy.
See. I discovered this in one of my trips. I travel a lot. And so I decided to move to Dubai for a few months. And found someone that was going to teach me the right technique to use not only the sound, but the vibration that works with these balls. We have different type of balls. We have the ones that are crystal. Those help you with the sound and relax you. These ones help you also with the vibrations that produce, which actually work within your body at a cellular level. Because when you have them close to you, like they call it like a massage therapy with vibroacoustics, and you got to think about how your body is 70% water, What happens when you have a glass of water and you tap it, You causes all these ripples and make that water just move and sparkles with the vibration. Well, it's the same thing that is happening inside your body. So when you think that your body is sensing it and your cells just kind of start moving inside and all that blood is just kind of streaming clear and moving, it just kind of helps your blood system work better, lowers your blood pressure, and of course relaxes you, which, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I will try.
So there is so much to learn about this, and I'm just fascinated. You can hit it a little bit hard. There you go. And then just start moving around. You have to touch it in order to. It takes a little practice, or else you stop it. And also how you place your fingers around it. Because if you touch it with your fingers, you're just going to stop the vibration.
Okay, I see.
You just got to keep it. There you go.
I made it around that time. Nice.
Practice. And needless to say, so this has really people like it, and being able to bring this to this part of the world is just
I hear it. Yep. I hear it. Yep.
So anyway, so this is some of the other things that I'm incorporating now to everything that I do, and that along, with what actually I do for a living, which is still my business consulting, coaching. With all of this, I always have people coming to me for advice. And I think the fact that I have moved so much, deal with so many different cultures, live in different places, has really opened up my mind and my heart to having tolerance and accepting of everybody's beliefs. And I love that. I love that. So,
and I think I feel like that's part of the reason why we connect too, because I come from my mom's side of the family. We're all Black African American, but on my dad's side of the family, he's from Nigeria. My stepmother, she's from New Zealand. My brother-in-law, he's white. I just have so many cultures in my family, and I just love people, and just learning about other cultures. It's an experience in itself.
What I have found out is that the more I get to know other cultures and other religions as well, it comes all to the same. We are so similar. We just can't see it because of our own pride.
Right.
We all want, at the end, we want love. We want to be accepted.
Yep.
And we just want peace. We
Mm-hmm.
all want that.
Yes.
You know, whatever you call it in any language that you want to say it, at the end, we are all the same and we want the same things. It just, you know, political issues gets on the way and everything else gets on the way. And the lack also of, you know, opening, it gets on the way. We are raised inclusive in a way that is just what we know,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And the way that I taught you, that must be the right way.
Mm-hmm.
If mama told you that way, that's the way it is, you know.
That is so important. And when I took my first philosophy class, that opened my eyes to understanding that everything that we were taught as a kid, you must question. Everything. You must question it. Because just exactly like you said, our mothers, they instill their values on us, the way they were raised on us. But then we kind of have that separation, you know, and it's for everyone's own individual perseverance. Their just to excel in life, you have to question everything. You have to get out there and figure out things for yourself. Everything that you've been taught, not that it's a lie, but you just need to go out and find out for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you have lived, you know, at least to me personally, you know, if I come from Mexico and they tell us this is the best place to live, you know, you believe it and it's your place and you're proud of it and stuff until you break that bubble, you go out and you're like, oh, there are other things out there and they are better.
Yep.
And, you know, same thing. You go out of here, go see more. Oh, there are better things. There are other ways to do things, you know.
That's exactly how I feel about the United States itself. There are other countries and cultures out there. There's beautiful places. There's beautiful places in Africa, in Mexico. Like, the media will make you think that we have it all here in America.
We have a great marketing system.
We do. Because my sister one day, she was saying to me, like, is this really the land of the free anymore? And I had to think about it. Like, you're right. Like, America's almost a third world country around here now. Like, we got to get it together.
You know, I just this year, wasn't this year? Well, this past year, so already 2022. I guess I moved to Dubai for a few months, and it's, you know, still a lot of people tell me that, oh, but you have to be covered, you have to be like looking down and like, what?
Now, do you mean you because you're a woman or because you're an American or
as a woman?
Oh, as a woman.
As a woman, just because it's a Muslim country.
Yeah.
So they assume that everybody has to be covered, that woman has to be covered and all that. I mean, no, one thing that I can say, at least personally in that particular country, I'm not talking about anybody anywhere else, is Dubai is a very open country, and I think only about 22% of the population is actual Emirati. Everybody else, it comes from Europe, from Africa, from all over the world, and they are very accepting of everybody's, you know, ways. It's just a matter of having some respect. Like everywhere you go, you have to respect, you know, the rules. You go to somebody's house, you respect the rules.
That's true.
And that's it. But you can learn so much when you are open to actually listen to the other person and just get your perspectives, put them in one side, and be open to listen to the other person.
Yeah. You don't even have to agree. Just like you say, just listen.
Yes. Exactly.
Listen, yeah,
There's no right or wrong way anywhere. We have our ways, other people have their way, and that's perfectly fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
We all brought up in different ways. We all live different situations within our own home, you know. For some people, it's okay to spank their kids. For some other people, you know, you don't ever think about it, you know. I was raised with a chancla, you know, where my mom just throw that shoe every time she get mad. You just run away and hide, and that's Hispanic for you.
That sure is. I love that.
You know.
If you don't know what a chancla is, it's a sandal.
And you're testing your Spanish, you know. Oh yeah. My mom never even had to tell me anything, you know. Whenever she get mad, all she had to do is just give me the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the moment you don't want to get home. When you're shopping and let's go to the bathroom. Oh, you know, hell is coming. You know, so it's like,
oh, that's hilarious.
But you don't ever think about doing that here.
Yeah.
You know, that's but like Mexicans, we're a culture that we will find, you know, where your self-esteem is hurting. We'll find out, and we call you that name as a nickname. You know, that's cruel. That's bad, but that's a cultural thing, and nobody gets offended. You know, it's it's not offensive. It's just the way it is. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but that's just what is part of different cultures and being brought in a different way.
I love that. One thing you said that I want to touch bases on, and I'm here with you too, like being a female entrepreneur, like we have to go out and create things for ourselves. I know Douglas and I, we spoke of something similar to this a few weeks ago. He was asking me, are men intimidated by women because we're out here creating things for ourselves? And I kind of told to him, I kind of feel like, well, maybe they're not intimidated. It's because we're kind of forced to go out here and create it for ourselves because we're wives or we're military wives and we have to move around, or some of us can't work because the husband's working 9 to 5. So sounds like you kind of had to go out and do the same thing, like go out and create your own success. Tell me a little bit more about creating your own success.
Absolutely. It's not easy. One, just being a woman makes it harder. Being an immigrant with an accent, you know, makes it twice as hard. You know, but still my pride and dedication and my work that I have put into it makes me have to work 3 times harder just to prove that I'm just as good as anybody else that was born here, you know, or that any man. Unfortunately, it is a reality that we as a woman, we do live, you know, and, you know, something that we get paid way less, you know. And in fact, I was just reading the other day, this is coming directly from the government, the information of that data of how much women get paid in comparison with a man, you know, and the numbers are just crazy, you know. And I go so angry when I see that Hispanic women are right there at the very bottom. The very bottom. And it's like, so it's a feeling of like how much I had to pedal and just keep going to get out of this puddle in order to get there, when I know that my education might be even better than the other person that is getting paid more. So rather than focus on that, I try to focus in my own stuff. When you're comparing to everybody else, you are going to be miserable the rest of your life, because there's always going to be people that is better than you or below you, you know. So you look at the mirror, and that to me is the person that I compare to. Who was I yesterday? And who do I want to be today so I can become a better version of myself tomorrow? But the only thing that I have is today, so I'm gonna make it count. And every day I try to do my best. Now, doing my best to me means to not keeping just all to myself, and this is where it comes, is that I've been telling you. I like to help other people. It's an instinct to me. I don't do it to get notoriety. I don't do it. It's just an instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very tiring because I'm an introvert.
Mm.
I don't like to socialize much, it will be kind of like weird if you see everything that I do. But I love challenges. I love challenges. And I say, you don't like it, you're going to do it. If I say you can't, you're going to do it, So I put myself in that. And I guess that comes from very early age.
Yeah.
With my mom raising me that way, I was working on TV since I was like 8, 9 years old. I worked on TV for 4 years. And I have I was singing on TV and I was...
I have to see this.
Oh my God! The only thing that I have is pictures. Back then we couldn't afford to have a video recording. What the VHS and all that. Oh my God! I'm dating myself here.
You know what? What does VHS even stand for?
Oh God! Thank you. I heard about that. Yeah.
I don't even know. I seriously don't remember.
Sabrina, there were some other things before, okay? Just when kids will never know nowadays what a dial-up. You don't even know what a dial-up is.
I remember dial-up.
That pain of waiting for the phone to go. Anyway, so what I do now, whenever I go, when I told you about like me moving and just kind of going to the point, is about I started to build my own circle of friends, a community that supports not just me, but others.
Yes.
So I started making, like in Korea, I did this Hispanic group of friends that we were a club. That we will do activities to maintain our traditions or cultural things from all over the countries that spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
And not just Mexican, but everybody. You speak Spanish, you're not Hispanic, but you speak Spanish and you want to join, come on, you're welcome. So I've been doing this everywhere I go. And now here in Dallas, when I moved here, I started with my a Facebook group that now has become an organization with over 7,000 women in the DFW area.
Wow.
So,
and what's the name of that group?
That's Amigas Latinas Club. And we have the Latinas Market, which is the sister page for that association. And we do a lot of activities, mostly to connect, to become friends, to know each other. I have, as of recently, I just maintain Amigas Latinas, which is Latinas Friends, as a zero tolerance for business. And this is just recent. Because I want, every time that we have a business, we tend to just kind of drop the ad right there and then forget about it, come back, and then you start forgetting about the real meaning of this club. And I don't want that meaning to stay behind, because the intention is to be able to connect with you at a personal level. I want to know who you are, not what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Because if we put that on the side, I'm gonna get to know what you do. And then I'm gonna want to support you from my heart, not just because. And when you create that kind of connection, you might have even more sales.
Yep.
Because
I'm so glad you're saying this. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, and that comes all, for all the experience that I have with marketing, and if we worry more about connecting with the people, we will make them customers for life.
Yep.
Do you want to sell one thing or you want to sell 100?
Exactly.
So that's the intention here, just to learn. What do you want to do? Yep. Obviously, I want to do the second one.
Yeah.
So now clearly the Latinas market is just focused on that. You have a business, you want to promote it, this is your platform.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether you are a woman, a Latino background, and owns a business, this is your place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is open not only to the DFW, but everywhere in the world, everywhere that you can sell a product online.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and at the same time connect.
Yeah.
Now, what I do with all this is conferences. I do retreats.
Mm-hmm.
We have had a few retreats.
Yeah, you've got one coming up.
Oh yeah, I had a business retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah, this business retreat is gonna be so full of so many good things. As for anyone that is either planning to make a business, I don't know where to start, or to anybody that already have a business but is stuck there and you just want to continue growing and you don't know, what direction to take.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a bunch of experts on the matter, what is human resources, that is all the lawful stuff that you need to do to open up a business, anything that has to do with finances, and then we move into the marketing aspects of it, social media, advertising, and everything that can help, and strategies to help your business. This is going to be in Van, Texas on March 19, and it's going to be one full day of information. However, it's more than that, because it's not going to be only for you to be there and get bored in the chair, because you're going to get up, network, and have fun.
Yvonne does not like boring.
I don't like boring. No. Oh, I got ADHD probably, because my brain is always got into a whole bunch of things. It's like, it's like you got to get up and move. And so that's what we're going to have: zip lining, wall climbing, human maze, and all this in the nature. And that connection with the nature is the part that I love, because then it's going to be moments that we're going to meditate, moments that we're going to be able to connect and to, just mingle. And this is open for anybody, for anybody that wants to do it. More the merrier, because we're going to be able to make more connections. And, you might know something I don't know, I know something you don't know. And that exchange of information is what is going to help.
I got so excited a minute ago that I'm so sorry you just saw me just getting excited when you were talking, because that is the basis of what I'm trying to, the value that I try to pour out from my platform is that it's not always about making a sale, especially one sale. Like building that value, that connection. Every time we have those meetings, it doesn't always have to be business related. How's your family doing? How's your mom? Like those things like that. Like, how was your vacation? And even in my years of being just a merchandiser inside of Walmart stores, like that's what they teach you. Even going in there, I don't always have to go in talking about building displays. No, how was your weekend? How's your family? What's been going on with you? How was the football game? Did you enjoy it? How about those Cowboys? It's not always about making that sale, but that personal connection that you build, people remember that.
Exactly. People will remember you. And they might not remember always a product, but they remember what the product or what you cause on them. That feeling that you make them feel. That's what we see all these commercials on Coca-Cola and all of this. It's like they're not selling you the product.
No, they're selling you a feeling.
They're selling you a feeling.
Are.
And that's what it is. It makes me feel so cozy. And I'm going to see my family. And we're going to be happily ever after. Drink Coca-Cola.
Facts.
So that's when we are, those NLP kind of little things that they throw you into when it comes to advertising. And this is a whole other thing. It's just how to sell. But when you know the tactics of selling, but you also from your heart want to legitimately know that person and get to know. I think that's when you have found your passion, and when you know that you're doing something good, and everything translates. When it comes to making a sale with a friend, the way that I do this, is we might not have a sale in a moment, but you talk to the person and say, hey, you're not feeling good, just call me. I'll bring you a little soup when you're sick, Or hey, let's go shopping next week, and you're connecting. And oh, by the way, what do you? Oh, I do nails. You know, where are you gonna go the next time that you're gonna have your nails done?
Exactly. Yep.
Without asking, without selling, everything will come naturally.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, because I get a lot of heat on social media, because I hate, as small business owners, how we try to attack our friends and force them to buy from us. And that is just not the case. Like, their consumers, their customers, they want value too. And I think a lot of small business owners just try to throw their products in their friend's face. Here, buy this, now I've started a business. No, I want value too. What value am I getting out of this? What personal, like, we're friends, but that doesn't mean, I mean, if that's the case, my friend shouldn't have to start a business for me to give her $5 or $10 every other week.
If you have a business and you're relying only on your friends, you're doing it wrong.
Way wrong. Way wrong.
So you need to open up your circle and yeah, and you know, and it also, when you mention these, your friends, it's funny how the cultural kicks in here too. You know how you are. You know, like. I can only speak for my culture, you know, and like, we only gonna okay, so how much is this? Oh, will you take less? You know, and always like digging in, like, wait, there's a point where you also have to put your hand and say, my time, my work is valuable.
True.
You know?
True.
And you have to put your line there, and you don't want to mess up those, you know, friendship with work, you know, and then. Personally, I don't like to do that. That's why even to my own friends, I don't even offer. They know what I do. If they need me, they will come to me.
Exactly. Exactly.
And if they don't want to support me, well, either maybe they just can't afford it. They don't need it.
Exactly. That too. They may not even need it. Yes.
And it's okay. You don't want to be like, I'm going to talk to you no more.
Yes. I think that's ridiculous. Like, you may not even live in the same state. Like, I have friends, like, someone was saying, well, you know, if you have a friend that sells hair care products, you should be buying your hair care products. No, I shouldn't. There's so many hair care products out there. Like, I might just want to run down to the store and get some. It may be inconvenient. They may be out of the state. There's just so many factors that play. It shouldn't ruin the friendship. And I shouldn't feel pressured because you're my friend to buy from me. If anything, I'll just give you $5. Here you go, friend. Here's $5. Like, if we're really friends.
I'm sure not gonna. If I'm selling jackets, I'm not gonna call my friend in Miami. Hey, get one jacket.
Exactly. Like,
don't need it.
Exactly.
Unless if it comes below 70 degrees, they might.
And they won't need it for long. Not there.
Well, you know, they get, you know, everything that goes below 70, they just get.
You know what's so funny? Like, when it snows here in Texas, like, the whole world just feels so sorry for us. Like, so I get it. Like, that's funny.
I know. I go in there with, oh, that's so funny. I mean, I live in places where, you know, it's snowing all the time. I live in Nebraska. It's another place that I live in. We just shovel that snow out, and you know,
like it's nothing.
Like, I don't think I could think of. I'm not going to work today. But well, you know,
when it snowed last year, I the whole week I took off work. I didn't go to work. I didn't try because I was a vendor, so I had to drive around from store to store anyway. So, but yeah, that was a good excuse for us here in Texas.
Well, you know, we are not prepared for this type of weather, and really is, you know, so you know. And you know, thank you to all of the firefighters, cops, and everybody else that had to go out there and work. Regardless, you know, is thank you. Take this moment for all that. Doctors and everybody else that has to still deal with it. Well, the rest of us are at home, just working from home or
that is true.
Taking a day off.
That is very true. Thank you for bringing light to that. I know a lot of people probably don't even think about stuff like that. But yes, you're right. Thank you to all the servicemen and women out there who are out there fighting the fight, like you said, when we're at home, warm. Because I can't do it. But, you know, just like Brandon at the Rail, is that his name? Brandon? I'm sorry, at the Rail Club? I mean, he's he's out there, servicing the community as well, and he's not a man or a woman in blue. So we can do it too. We, as community, if we pull together, we don't have to be a service leader to, provide service to our community. So
Absolutely.
anybody out there listening, if you could lend a helping hand, do that.
Just as simple as going and check on your neighbor sometimes.
That's
You
it.
never know who you'll be lifting up their spirit or what's happening,
Yep.
And I guess this brings us to the point of just being kind to each other and do something nice for each other every time we can without any expectations, because
that's the most important.
I think that one of the biggest things that we as a human beings get depressed, sad, or anything else is because we set our own expectations in certain manner that when we don't get it, a response in that way, then we don't accept it. So, but when you're doing something that is from your heart, without expecting, not even a thank you, without expecting anything in return, you feel good that you did something because you wanted to do it. And when you actually get something back, that's the greatest feeling ever.
It is. Yeah.
So I think if we all did a little bit, it will change this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's one step at a time, and each step starts with us.
Yep. Starts with self.
Just getting out there and just do any little thing that you might think that I always tell my girls in the organization, like, just treat others like the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
If you want to be treated with respect, be respectful.
Yep.
If you want people to be tolerant to your thinking, then be tolerant to others. You don't like what you see, what you think, move on. If it doesn't hurt, doesn't affect you personally, move on.
Yep.
Keep going. Accept. Let it go. Let it go.
Yep. Yep. Or choose not to accept and just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Not to accept and still let it go. Like, there's certain things in life I don't accept it, but I just don't dwell on it or make it a problem in my life.
What I meant is just like to accept that it was said.
Yeah.
Like when they say, let's agree to disagree.
Yes.
That's an agreement right there. How you want to talk it.
Yes.
It's up to you how you want to take it later. But yeah. And you were just speaking before I forget. You were talking about your vendor, and so many people out there that have a side business or something. I also have another Facebook group that is for vendors.
Oh, okay.
And it's called Vendors and Venues Network, which is basically the same as a Latinas market, but for the American market or for everybody else. And so welcome to join. Anybody's welcome to join. And right there is where you see the whenever the next event is coming up, that you have a chance to go and sell your products, then you'll find it there.
So I'm going to admit something here, but I want you to help me because you can help me. So with you being a Hispanic woman and you having these groups for just specifically for Hispanic women, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I have my magazine, and it's specifically for Black-owned businesses, but I'm having a hard time really being comfortable just conveying that. I think I need help in understanding how to just say, this is for Black-owned businesses. Even for myself, like, I don't know if I don't want to be offensive, but it's needed in our culture. Just like it's what you have going on is needed in your culture. So help me with that. How do I get over that scarcity that I'm having inside of me, just to say this is a Black-owned magazine?
Just like that.
I know.
Okay, is anybody else working it? Is anybody else putting the sweat and tears that you're putting into it? Is anybody else paying your bills? Is anybody sitting there in your brain making up all these ideas and making the connections happen?
No.
What are you worrying about? I think that each one of us, as a woman, as a minority groups, we're always going to be criticized. We're always going to be looked down upon. And this is not only a problem in the U.S., this is a problem in the whole world, with whether there is racism or not is not the question. There is. How is it dealt with in every place is different. But you cannot be focusing on that. You cannot be focusing on the haters or on the ones that are going to come and push you down. You cannot continue to be worried because you will never get up out the bed. You're going to be depressed and crying and do nothing. Which means you're not going to be doing all of this good that you're doing for your own community. We all have to be represented by someone and make that force. Now, I feel that as you and me in this case connecting and bringing that gap together and eventually so we can bring everybody else together is just a way to contribute to our society. You know better how the thinking of your culture is, how the thinking of African American groups work, their traditions, their lingos, their everything. So that's your market. That's who you are selling this idea to. And those are the people that you can support because that's the knowledge that you have. I can with confidence say I can support my culture, Hispanics, because I know not just the language, but I know the emotions, I know the reactions, I know how we like things done. And if I can help to push that so we can be at a level, at the same level that I'm married to an American, white as can get. So, both times. I didn't learn my first time. So I have that connection as well. And so I've been lucky to be able to have the bridge where to me, I can go. I know just as much as one as I know from the other one. I might not be born into a white community, but I deal with one every day. And all my work that I have I work as a marketing coordinator at a hospital, with 15 clinics. Every single doctor was white. Every single person was white, and although it was hard at first to me, I had to learn the ways. Like we Hispanics are very cozy, we come to you, we hug everybody, we love, we kiss, That's just in our nature. We're not doing it. I'm never gonna forget the first time, when I wanted to try to, just hugs and what you're gonna do to me, like they're not used to it, it's a little bit colder. But, you go learning and closing that gap. Now, to me, when I'm doing this with Hispanics is trying to close that gap and trying to not only tell them it's only us and that's it. And that to me is the difference. I try to tell them, go out and mingle with everybody. Go out. We're not just the best. We're not the only ones. You live in a country that you choose to move to, that you know that it is a melting pot of everybody. You want to be accepted? Then go outside and accept everybody else. You want people to know you? Learn the language. You want people to... so that's my... little, my little contribution there for society in this. And I don't see it as okay, it's just gonna be us and this is gonna be just like we are at home, because we are not at home. We're just trying to maintain those traditions. We're just trying to pass that on to generations because they start getting forgotten.
That is one thing I do love about the Hispanic culture is they pass on traditions, pass on culture. It's like, it's a mission inside of them to make sure that their daughters or their sons learn the language, learn the culture. And you're right. I think that it's getting washed away here a little bit in America. Same for, Black culture and other cultures as well. But I appreciate that advice because I really have had a hard time, like, trying to pitch it to people. Like, yes, it is a Black owned magazine, but sometimes I do get uncomfortable and I'll say, well, it's just an online magazine, an advertising magazine.
I think that when your approach changes to know that you're doing the right thing, because that's who you want to support and who you feel comfortable to be able to guide in the better way. You just gotta feel secure about yourself and present it in that way.
Yeah.
But always be open to what can we do for you as a community, as a Black American community. What can we do for you to make us stronger as a unified country, city, whatever you want to call it. But there's BT channel, there's all kinds of things. Which is
true. The
there's
same thing.
Univision, Telemundo. They are focused to certain.
That's true.
So what will you feel bad about it?
That's true.
No.
I guess it's just me. You're right. Like, it's just something that I just have to continue building that confidence as I'm growing. When I'm out there pitching it and everything. And my goal, honestly, is to have one for the Hispanic community as well. Full Spanish, where we just interview Hispanic entrepreneurs and just write these articles about all the Black and Hispanic entrepreneurs here in the DFW. So maybe that's something you and I can collaborate on.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, trust me, when ideas, I have so many where I don't have enough time to do everything. I have a 4-year-old also that I take care of myself, so it's just like working from home and trying to do everything at the same time. It gets overwhelming sometimes, but it's hard for me to pick and choose because I love everything that I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I truly can say that I love what I do. But some of these things has actually be the reason why I started doing all of this, because I needed to find a balance in my life where I'm not just killing myself literally, with so much work. I needed something to shut down my brain at night when I go and put my head on the pillow and say, it's enough, go to sleep. Because the minute that I put my head, like, okay, I get an idea, and then I get up, go grab the computer, and pretty soon it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I still have to get up at 6. So, that's bad habits, So I needed to break the cycle and find something that gets me grounded and balanced. And all this meditation and art and sound healing Reiki, which I also master with Reiki, and yoga has really helped me to breathe, learn that it's enough. What I do is enough. There will be a tomorrow, hopefully. But if nothing else, I know that today I made the best that I could do. So definitely recommend to everybody to maybe if it's not this, just kind of try to find that connection, that balance. What makes you happy? Everybody, we all have something that is gonna be the one. If he's playing golf, if he's just sitting down and read a book, but take that time to yourself and put it on your schedule. Just like you put, like, I have to go grocery shopping, I have to go just put on your schedule 30 minutes, whatever.
That's all you need.
This is your me time. You're gonna read, you're gonna sit there, you're gonna do nothing, you're gonna sit outside and drink your coffee. And not gonna be thinking about all this work you have to do. Just think about yourself, nature. Look at the trees, look at the birds, look at the ground. all the things that we need to be thankful for.
That's something I need to learn from my husband because he is at peace with himself. Like, he can sit and look at nature, go fishing. Like, he can do a lot of things by himself. But me, I always need somebody with me. Go to the store with me. Go to the mall with me. Let's do this. Or let me jump on the phone call. Da, da, da. I have to find time for myself.
You know what I found? You say you need always someone. I was that person. I was with my ex. If I needed some, come on, let's go and eat company,
Yeah.
Not that I needed to drive me or anything. I just wanted
just-
someone to just be there looking at me that I was shopping.
Yeah.
Or just to get, do you like this color or this color? But it's just, when you realize that, what is what you deeply really want?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're really gonna find yourself that when you feel complete, you don't need anyone. You are with someone because you choose to be with that person. Just like with your husband, you are with him because you want to be with that person. But is it really his company what you want, or is it that affirmation that you need from him? What is it? You have to find out what you're really looking for. Talking about these things that you need to take in. One thing that it helped me a lot is just face your fears. When you are facing your fears and put them face to face to yourself, then you know how to tackle them. When you tackle those fears, it's not gonna be easy.
Right.
It just like I know a lot of people that don't like to drive, or going more beyond an hour, even with the girls, oh, where is it gonna be the event? Oh, that's more than 30 minutes. Okay, it's a DFW anywhere. Here is gonna be at least an hour.
Right.
Don't tell me that when you used to drive in the periférico there in Mexico City for 2 hours sitting in the traffic, But it's how society starts changing our standards. Anyway, so when you're facing your fears, you can go straight to the point and just tackle them.
Yes.
Like I was talking about the driving part. You start driving 1 hour. Next time you want to drive an hour and a half. Pretty soon you're like me. You're driving all over the country, no problem. I found myself, one thing that I love is to travel alone.
I do like that. I do like that.
I find
not on a plane though. I have a fear of planes. Never been on one.
No, there is a lot. You can easily die faster in a car crash than in a plane.
And everybody says that, and I'm like, you know what? I still am afraid of the plane.
Oh, we got some other issues there, but it's understandable. Trust me, I don't like it, especially when it's taking off. Or just when I like to always get a window so I know I'm gonna fall. Like, well, is it water or is it a mountain? I really do. But you know what? At the end, what I like to do traveling alone is that I get to be with myself. And it's something that I don't have time to do while I'm here. Because either I have one kid, the other kid, my husband, work, clients, this and that. And I never connect with myself and hear my own feelings and emotions. So when I am travel alone, I talk a lot to me.
Yeah.
And what do I want? And actually take time to see nature, see the flowers, see the things that somehow in your daily life you don't get to view the nature, to view the beauty on it. We look so much to what are we going to have next? What are we going to have next?
Yeah, you're right.
And that we're missing what really matters. Yeah, we do need to eat. Yes, we do need to have a car. But how much? What is going to be the point that you are happy? Is it ever going to happen?
Right.
Is it ever going to be enough? You have to ask that yourself. One of the things I like living in Europe was that people is not worried about going shopping every day. Or that worrying about, okay, I got this blouse, oh, but I need 5 on the same color.
Yeah.
It's about quality, not so much about quantity. People can buy a couch and that's going to last them, it's going to be expensive, but it's going to be good quality.
Yeah.
And it's going to last them 20, 30 years and pass into generations. So they're not worried about they having to work because they need to buy new furniture, new clothes, no. They're worried about still spending time with their family. They're worried about it's 10 o'clock, they need to have their first wine, or their cappuccino in the corner, or their beer, whatever. But it's more laid back. And here we are used to it, because of TV tell us, because the shows tell, because society in general keeps telling us the new iPhone is out. And we need it. We need it, or else you are behind, or else you're not gonna look good. We're so worried about a status.
Yep.
We are so worried about the way we look, because we're constantly presented by social media, by the communication, TV and shows and everything else about how we're supposed to look.
Yeah.
If we're not skinny like a stick, we're fat. And if we're too fat, oh girl, So you're never going to make people happy.
Right. Never.
So what about you just make yourself happy? And go by your own standards. Build your own standards. Your own... I deal with this a lot when I move away from my country, because we are a society that you cannot do anything without thinking about what the neighbor's going to say. Or what your grandma's going to think. Oh, forget about what the people is going to talk.
Yeah.
What people? And I was just like that. I'm living with one guy is like, what? No, I cannot wear this. What people's going to think if I have a hole in my pants? What? And no one cares. Nobody cares. So, just like I was telling you, how can you feel stronger about your person? Yvonne decided that if he wasn't paying my bills, if he wasn't giving me food, if he wasn't affecting me personally, why should I take in consideration what they think?
Absolutely.
You're all gonna think. You're never gonna please everybody. Never.
Right.
But if you please yourself, you'll be happy. And when you're happy, you make other people happy.
Yeah.
So it's like a chain, it's like that domino effect. When you're happy, you do good, you're gonna make someone else happy. And
they're gonna go. I like that. And the cycle just continues. Right. That's how it is. It's definitely a process, and us as people, it's a process that we just need to just jump on board and just get a hold of it, just like you say, just spread that kindness. And those are things I've been taught that since I was a baby. Like, none of that changes. It's like you said, that social media, that has a lot to do with the times of changes a lot, so I think that if you are on social media, that it is important to take those breaks. Like, a lot of people you see, I'm like, I need to take a break from social media. Do that. You probably need to, because it's probably stressing you out. And then a lot of the small business owners, I try to encourage them, stop trying to build your brand on social media, meaning Facebook or Instagram. Yeah, you're gonna reach people. That is advertising platform, but I personally don't think, and you do marketing as well, and you're more expertise than I am. So you tell me if I'm wrong, but like you said about the personal connections, but I think that it's more important if people get off of social media with their business and start diving more into like Google, like really growing their business on the Google platform. What do you think?
Well, when you're talking about Google is crawler for information. That information is going to be found within your website. your website is going to have content. When you're searching a product, when you're searching something, Google is not going to go and look into Facebook or Instagram.
They're not.
They're
Nope.
not.
Nope.
They only crawl into their websites,
Yep.
and they're looking.
Mhm.
Their algorithms are always and constantly
Yep.
changing.
Mhm.
So what Google cares more right now is about content,
Yep.
and that goes to the value. What value are you giving to your customers? So as a business owner, you should be providing value to your people.
Yep.
You know, if let's talk about, I don't know, tell me any business. Like, okay, if you do taxes, okay, you provide a service of taxes, then the best way is not selling, okay, I do your taxes, or here comes April, bring me your taxes. You know, trying to sell, that's not going to bring you the people. It's going to be the value, because people don't know you. So they want to know, what are you going to provide for them? So you're going to explain and maybe make a blog. What are taxes? How would it affect you not to do it? What are the little things that you can save on taxes? You know, all of these things for the business, all these things as a personal, you know, or as a married, which one is more convenient for you to follow? When you are providing people with content, you're going to attract your customers. Same thing with the crawlers, web crawlers such as Google. They're going to find out more traffic into that page because there's content, therefore it's going to start slowly going up and up and up. So by the time that you look for someone that says taxes in Dallas, then your page is going to come up. Now that takes time, it also takes a lot of money. Because it's not all free, and this is where people need to understand. Just this morning, has someone, okay, I want to have my page and just be on top of Google. Okay, well, you know, this is an investment, right? You know, free only goes so far. You know, and these are corporations that live, you know, this is their business. And this is why Facebook starts charging for all the advertising. It's not that Facebook is free, you know, it's costing to all of these ads that you see. They're paying for you to be able to have friends. You know.
Sorry, I didn't mean it. Sorry. Yeah, because you just hit it on the money. Because even with I'll just use me for example. Even like with me building the Women with Purpose tour, like I'm really trying to build our platform on Google. And yeah, you can Google Women with Purpose tour and we're going to pop up. But I'm trying to get us to the point to where you Google, just like you say, seminars for women, and then we pop up. That's totally different than being, you know, than just Googling a business name and then it popping up. So
it's going to take time.
Yeah.
A lot of work and money.
That's
the reality, you know, but as long as people knows this and understand that there is an investment, just the same way that you go and buy the products to sell, let's say a restaurant, if they need to buy the meat, they need to buy the, you know, vegetables, they need to buy the plates, and be like, well, they also need to let people know they're there. And that's usually, marketing is something that they don't usually put in their budget. And they call it, how much is this going to cost? No, it's not an expense, it's an investment. And the sooner a business owner puts in their head that marketing, advertising is an investment, just like everything else that they have, the sooner they will understand the importance of how to grow their business.
Yeah, because I think a lot of business owners, they want to see that ROI, that return on investment so quickly. But when it comes to that investment, you may not see it. You may not see a return on a good Google ad campaign for a year or 2 years, maybe even 3.
You know, it's just funny, you know, out of one ad, maybe you get 1,000, and those 1,000, you know, there goes a funnel, you know, who really completed the forms. It was only 400 out of those 400, you know, and then out of those 1,000, maybe you get 3.
Right, exactly.
You know, so that's when you need a strategy. You know how much or where do you want to put your money. Maybe you're in an early stages of your business. You need to focus more onto the networking part of it. Maybe you need to use it always, you know, to get yourself out there and make those connections. Maybe you need to, a lot of people just want to use what is for free. We all want to get the free stuff.
Yeah.
But free, like I said, gets you only so far. And because everybody else is there, well, everybody starts just using that. And we go back to the groups. Groups are a great way to build up business because you are targeting your audience directly right there within a group.
Yep.
That they're willingly going to it. You don't even have to purchase them. You don't even have to come. They are willing to be part of that community. And they'll have similar interests. But when you have to take care of it. Because when you leave a channel, just by itself, very soon you find ad. Pretty soon everything becomes a platform for just throwing ads. Who in the right mind just go and sit on your TV? Oh, I got an hour. I'm going to put in the channel with all commercials. No one.
Nobody.
You're going to get out of there as soon as you can. You got now Netflix. You cannot even wait for a 30-second ad. Even in YouTube, you skip the 5 seconds and go there because nobody wants to see it. So you just got to, have a strategy of what you want to do. And each business is different. And each level of the business that you are in, it goes in a different way. Unfortunately, there is not a magic way to do marketing.
No, it isn't.
So if anybody comes to you as a business owner and tells you, I'm going to get you all this bunch of, business going on followers that you appear on Google, they're lying to you. Because it needs consistency, investment, and strategies. That's why you can do ABC with the same ad, in different ways to see which one is going to work better.
You're supposed to do that, to see which one is working better.
Right, to see which one is going to be, and you never know. And it could be something totally different than what you were expecting for people to react. And it's just crazy because it has happened in that. Well, you didn't think that maybe an ad with a little kid was going to work. Oh, you think that it's going to be all cute and that well. Or maybe just a plain white screen with a few, that is testing the market. So there's so many different ways to do it. But, that takes a strategy. So anybody that comes to you and say, that took a little course on, Instagram or something, I'm sorry. Go for it. You want to spend your money, go for it. But, and unfortunately, in my career, it's happening a lot, and we are suffering in that part of it because, you watch a YouTube video and they think they're experts.
Yeah.
They watch they have Canva now. They think they're designers now. Must be. Well, what can I do? I'm thinking about all those, years in school that I could have saved and party. And, it is what it is.
Now we have Canva. Now we have YouTube. And I'll teach you this. I'll show you that in 5 minutes. And I'm actually creating a crash course on marketing versus advertising.
I'm not saying they're no good. I'm saying that definitely you have to be clear. You are not an expert after watching this. We should have a, how do you call this?
Disclaimer.
A disclaimer. You should have a disclaimer that says, well, do not feel like an expert after watching you. By no means, So, it's so good. And providing education, providing content that is you are placing yourself with value.
I'm getting there. I am. I like what you said too about budgeting. I wanted to touch bases on that because it is so important, when you're starting a business is to set a budget, and part of that budget needs to be how much you're going to place on that marketing campaign or that Google ad or whatever type of ad you're running. And I was watching a YouTube video the other day and one of the guys he was talking about budgets, and he was saying, starting off with like a budget of of course within your own, but like $10,000 is a good budget to start off with to put behind an ad campaign. And I'm thinking in my head, 10 grand for just to start off for a Google ad campaign. And he's right. Like if you really want to get your business out there, it is going to take a few thousand of dollars to really find the ad campaign that works for you, because part of that, you're testing the waters with these, with a few here and there. But I don't know how soon I will be ready myself to even run campaigns that are $10,000.
That's demoralizing. How many people really have $10,000
I know
saved just for marketing itself? Probably,
yeah.
When we're talking about small business owners, first of all, you want to start being your own boss, just because you can no longer, take working for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So your attitude is, of entrepreneur thinking is different of other people, because we'd rather work 20 hours a day for a fraction of what we earn in a company,
Mm-hmm.
just because we want to be our own boss, and because we truly believe that we're going to make our product or service or business grow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ultimately the goal that we'll have, but it takes, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner is not for the faint of heart.
Right.
It's not easy.
Right. It's not.
It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It's no days off.
None.
It's no
It
vacation.
doesn't happen overnight.
Doesn't
Nope.
happen overnight. So you have to put your work on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that for a year you might not sleep.
Yep.
But how much do you really want this?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to wait until you have all the money, or are you going to start growing slow? That's up to you. Now, you have the money, go for it.
Right.
The sooner it happens, the better, and they say, money makes money, and it's true.
Yeah.
But 10,000 is just not something that I will say, first of all, because every business is different.
Mm-hmm.
And I go by percentage.
Mm-hmm.
If you have, let's say that you have the $10,000 that you're gonna open up the business, you have to see first: is it gonna be an online business? Is it gonna be a business that required to have a space, like a commercial space? Is it gonna be a business? Okay, inside that commercial space, you're gonna need electricity, water, telephone, everything else. So you get all these expenses. So all those expenses you divide, in a certain percentage, and then you divide the other percentage with the merchandise or everything else, and then you divide also right there 5 to 15% to begin, maybe with the marketing efforts. And then from there also, it's different from the advertising. What are you going to have to print? You need the banners, you need the flyers, you need what you need. And each and every single business is going to be different. I was talking yesterday with a client, and she's trying to bring coffee. It's like, okay, I want to sell it in social media and go to the Facebook and all that. Okay. So you think you're gonna sell it like that? No, you have a product that people need to try and taste.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You need to go out there, and you need to get yourself a selling booth in the festivals, and every week can be everywhere. You need people to taste that. You need. There's only so much of social media. A picture is gonna look good, but if you don't taste it, you're gonna go to the one that you already know.
Yep. That's true.
So, we purchase with our senses. We need the eyes with a nice picture, with a nice presentation. We need our hands to touch it.
Yep.
We need our smell sense of smell. Is it good candles? How you going to sell a candle?
Yeah.
They look pretty, but sometimes they don't smell. Or it's not what you expected, And even the sound, like when you have a commercial space, you need that to feel peaceful, to feel, or you go to a restaurant and you have all this music that is just driving you crazy. You just want to move out and get out of there as quick as you can. Because everything affects your senses, and everything affects the way that we act as buyers. So,
it does. That's so true. I think that's important too. I know when I'm out shopping, I'm doing the same thing. You're right. I'm touching stuff, trying on stuff. Oh, especially clothes. I do not even buy clothes online. You can't get me to go to your online shop and buy anything online. I have to try it on.
Right.
So that is totally important.
And the same way. And how you notice there's never watches on the stores or anything like that. They don't want you to know how much time you spend there. They don't want you
That's
to know.
true. That is really true. No clocks on the wall.
Never.
No nothing.
Yeah, because even if you're in there and you're not even shopping, just you being in there makes other people want to come in. You know, that's just how it is. We're attracted to what's going on. Like, what are they doing over there? You know,
Curiosity.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, like when I used to work at Zales, that was one of the things that we had to do. Well, I had to because I was just so good at it. But just getting people in the store, like I was always the one just big and loud. Hi, come on in today. We have amazing deals going on. Like, it's just that personality, everything, value, all of that just plays a part into it. And I'm just so glad I understand that. I know a lot about people, they don't know that, but I am really trying to convey that on my platform, is that if you really want to build your business, build that value, make those connections. Like, that is so important. And you brought up Coke. I bring up Coke all the time. Nike, what have they done? Follow their motto. See what they're doing. And Coca-Cola definitely has built their brand. And I give it to them. I give it to them. I think, you know, one of the things that they say, or not they say, or it's true, is that Coca-Cola sold, 12 bottles in their first year? And now look at them. That's it. They sold 12 bottles of soda in their first year of business. And now look at Coca-Cola today.
And now their marketing efforts goes, a big portion of that goes into more marketing. Same thing with Apple. Apple is the same thing. They're selling their marketing strategies are so great. They're selling you that emotion, that feeling that I'm better than you if I have an Apple computer. I'm still sticking to my Samsung.
Me too, Android. I don't care.
But it's fascinating, this world, of how you represent yourself. And speaking of representing your product, branding should be the number one thing that you have to do with a product. Who do you want to be? You are your face of your product, of your service, of who you're selling. And if you don't present yourself, then who is it going to present? The product itself. How is it going to talk to the people?
Right.
Is it going to talk to young people? It's not going to have the same language that a 60-year-old person is going to have. So you have to match that language, those colors, the thinking. And all of this goes involved in part of the branding and the product.
That is so important. And brand awareness. I was telling my sister that this past weekend, because we were talking about the friends buying and price issue. And she's like, well, why do you even feel that way? And you have a magazine for small businesses. And I'm like, because I'm trying to teach them to build brand awareness. I'm trying to tell them, like, that is the message that I'm trying to convey from my platform, is that it's not all about price or pricing.
No. That's only a tiny piece of the puzzle.
Right.
Of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you've done your marketing research and you've done your strategy work, then once you set your prices, you shouldn't even have anything to worry about after that, because you're going to set them accordingly. Now, of course, times change, things go up. You might need to adjust things here and there, but part of your market research is figuring out the price or the value to what your competitors are offering, to how much they're charging. What are you offering? What are you doing different? So it's just like you say, that price is just a fraction. But if you've done your research before you set your price, once you set it, you're good.
And it's not just about comparing other people's price. It's about, you have to consider the sources that you're getting your product. If it's a product, how much you're spending on the product.
Exactly.
How much, if it's a service, how much time are you really spending on a service? You know, as a photographer, I am a photographer as well, commercial photographer. People is, oh, this module is only 1 hour. It's so insulting, you know. It's just when you just want to say like, okay, bye. You know, people don't know the amount of hours that you require to be behind the computer in order to be editing every single picture.
That's the part.
You know, people don't know that a camera lens can cost you to $5,000 just for that one camera lens, and then you just need all the equipment. And just like phones, they go outdated like within a year.
Or they want to take your picture with an iPhone. And they're a photographer or a videographer.
Oh, God, yeah, I'll tell someone.
Well, I can just say, it's not that. Yeah. All that burns me out. I just had to jump in.
I don't even advertise myself as a photographer anymore, and it's because, you know, there's gonna be 10, 20 to jump out because they just got a little camera and other photographers, or because they took the little baby's picture and look, it was somebody telling, oh, good. And now they think they can go and charge for it, which they're all the right to do, you know, but this is where you compare, you know, and if people doesn't know the quality, you know, they can give you the same thing. They can give you fish, chicken, or they can give you a good filet mignon. You know, you cannot compare. There's nothing I can do about that.
Right.
You know, how much you want to spend on it, you know, that's up to people.
That's how I feel about margaritas. Not gonna lie. When my husband and I got married, because I love margaritas, and one of my favorite margaritas, Mi Cocina has it. I don't know if you've tried it, but Taco Diner, their sister company. So if you've ever tried the Mamba Taxi, oh my gosh. So when I got married, my husband and I literally stopped because we drove to Vegas because I'm scared of planes, remember? We drove to Vegas.
You fall off the mountain.
We drove. But on our 2-week road trip, I literally like, no, let's stop at this restaurant. I want to taste the margarita. Let's stop here. And I took all these pictures, and I'm like, husband, no. None of these compare to that Mama Taxi back home. Like, I'm ready to get back to Dallas where I know the margaritas are good. But you're right, like...
You poor thing, I'm going to have to take you to Mexico.
See? And I'm pretty sure there's a better one out there. I'm pretty sure.
You know, we'll be friends as long as you don't ever tell me that Taco Bell is Mexican.
Oh, no. No. I'm not. I used to work at Taco Bell right after high school, but yeah, no.
Even myself, I still get and while with some of the, you know, Mexico is big in their culinary, you know. It's there was a few years back that won #1 internationally in their cuisine. Where I come from, really, like, I'm from the north, so we don't have as much variety as in the south. You know, like, to us, I grew up with carne asada, you know, just grilled steaks, and that was the thing, like, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, my grandpa was like, if he didn't see a piece of meat on his plate, that was not meat. That was not food. Like, where's my meat? You can give it a whole big, you know, plate, but if it was not meat, my grandpa will be angry. Like, you're not feeding me. Yeah. But and in the south, you know, their culinary is just so amazing. Mole, enchiladas, all kinds of things that, you know, like even insects that I don't dare to eat. I'm not that sorry, but you know, but they're such a big culinary, and the taste of it is definitely, I haven't found yet anything here that tastes just as original. And you know, and it's okay, you know, it makes sense with products and everything they bring. But yeah, if you ever want to really taste real Mexican food, the only way to do it is just by going. Then you'll see the difference.
I agree. I'm afraid I might, if I go over there and start eating the food, and I'm already speaking Spanish, and I might stay.
Oh, they'll love you there. Yeah, I recently, just for Christmas, I went to a cruise and thank God before they closed it, because as soon as we came back, they stopped all the cruises there. But one of the tours was like unlimited margaritas, so the guy just kept coming to me like, one more, like, I don't drink.
You don't drink?
No, I can have a little bit of margarita. Girl, you don't want to see me drinking. I'll be like, if I have half a beer, I'll be like telling you jokes. 3/4, I'll be like crying about nobody loves me. And by the time I finish a beer, I'll be like sleeping. You're probably going to have to drag me out of there. But yeah, he was like, what a waste of that, right? Yeah, but yeah, it was such a waste. It's just.
Were you by yourself or who were you with?
Well, my family.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, but somebody else, they were drinking, right? Margaritas?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like, I'm with him. Like, why are you there?
Right. Yeah, such a waste. I know. I wish they offered that option of like, no drinks or all. I don't care. But no, it was all or nothing.
Ooh, I actually never heard of a cruise like that. I'm gonna go find something like that. Unlimited margaritas?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'd be in heaven. Oh man. Okay. Anywho. Maybe I might do a podcast about margaritas one day.
That would be good. We got it. Then we had the tamarindo margarita, the strawberry one, the pineapple, and all kinds. Oh, they're so good.
Mango.
No, I like that one.
That's
like
my favorite.
Very, very weak, and they're like almost nothing tequila, but
okay.
They're good.
Ooh, and every show I'm hungry, so and I always tell Douglas, tengo mucha hambre ahora, like I'm so hungry every episode.
I love
it. But we're nearing the end of today's podcast, but I wanted to let all the listeners know that we do have a special announcement with the Women with Purpose Tour, and I wanted to let everyone know that you will be joining us as one of the newest speakers on tour, the newest entrepreneurs out there empowering women with us and bringing that Hispanic culture. And that's something that I've conveyed to the ladies since the start of the Women with Purpose Tour, is that we will be networking and we will be combining and communicating and out there empowering women, not just only in the Black community, but the Hispanic community as well. So I just want to thank you for joining the tour with us. Like, you don't know how much it means to me to have you join us. I do appreciate you for allowing me to express the love that I have for the Hispanic community. I appreciate that. And on my journey learning Spanish and diving more into the culture, that is something that I've run into with almost every Hispanic person that I encounter with, is that they appreciate that I'm learning the language and I'm trying to learn more about the culture. And that's been welcoming for me. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you joining the tour. Tell the listeners just a little bit about what you're going to bring to the tour.
I'm so excited, and same here. I'm so glad that we connected. I think it's the energy that brings us together. And this is what we're going to be talking about. I think it's going to be a little bit of everything, about as a life coach, just how can you connect your business with yourself? Who you are as a person. Are you ready to do the steps that it takes? The more I talk to customers, to clients, I find people that is all ready to go, and I have this business and so, okay, what is stopping you? Oh, well, it's because of my kids. Okay, well, you're finding a problem there. Okay, but I'm ready to go with this and that, but my husband doesn't support me. So then you start finding out that the personal level that you find yourself currently affects a lot of what you're doing in the professional level.
That's true.
So I'm here to try to help you find a balance between those two and how you can fix first your personal life so you can continue growing in the professional level. If your mind is wandering around because your husband is cheating on you or you're getting divorced or something, how can you be in your five senses and your mind focused in everything that you need to grow your business? It is impossible. We're humans. We need to have that connection and we need to have the balance. So finding your balance, to find the peace within yourself, to be able to grow as a person and grow your business.
I love that.
That's
and
huge.
Just to touch bases really quick on what you said about wives and husbands. Like my husband, he supports me, but in different ways. So I just want to encourage any wives out there what is your definition of support? Because my husband, he may not come to all of my events, but if I need cash, if I need money, if I need funding for my business, he's there to help. If I need even stuff, just take it to the car, he'll help me get it to the car. Like little things like that, like that support. So maybe it's also people need to find like what do you define support?
Exactly.
What level of support are you looking for? Because support can come in so many different ways.
Exactly. It can come emotional support. I'm there for you,
Exactly.
cheering you up all the way. It can come in a way that you carry the boxes and you help me set up everything. It can come in the financial way. Well, you're not here, but at least I have financial money. But what you're expecting from your couple, from your partner to help you with, because maybe it's not enough, or maybe it's not what you need. Maybe it's not the money that you need, but some people think, I just want you to be proud of me.
Right.
And you're not hearing that. And that person might not be happy. So that's when it comes to communication.
Yep.
And to know yourself, what are you looking for as a support on your partner? So, like I said, we're going to build a business from the bottom, from the ground up. And to me, a business, a relationship is like a table with 4 legs. And if one of those legs is missing, everything is going to fall apart.
Yep.
So first we need to focus on you so we can focus on everything else that you're going to be making.
And I think another reason why we connect so well is because our birthdays. A day apart, right?
Yes, I found that I promise I was not stalking you. Just somehow appear there.
So we're going to be celebrating together this year.
Yes, big party.
And I'll drink your margarita for you.
You are awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. I needed
Send that here to me. I'll hold her.
This is balance. We're really finding you.
I love it. So before we end today's show, just tell everyone where they can find you on your website, all of your information. Let us know.
Okay, you can find me as Yvonne Faulkner. .com, YVONNEFAULKNER.com, or with my art and sound therapy is Pix Mixer. That'll be PICS Mixer.com, and same thing in all the social media, Pix Mixers on Facebook and Instagram. Follow me there. If you are of a Latino descendant, you can go and check out the latinasmarket.com, which is also a platform where you can sell your own products and get connected with. Now, we do have a lot of events. I do a lot of retreats, and they're open to anybody. Anybody that is friendly, anybody that wants to connect, anybody that wants to network. That's my intention, is to connect and to network, regardless of who you are, where you come from, or any background that you might have. If you have a smile in your face and a willingness to share with others, then you're more than welcome.
I love that.
YvonneFaulkner.com, PixMixer.com.
I love that. I love that. And we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you to all the listeners out there. Again, this Saturday, the Women with Purpose Tour, Dallas, at the Ballroom Surge, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And I will be speaking at 1:15. So as long as you're there at 1:15, you'll get to see me.
Hey, you be there. Be there. This is gonna be great.
Yes.
It is. And like I said, Yvonne, she's joining us on tour. You'll get to see her speak and see her in action starting in the Fort Worth tour, and we'll have all the details for everyone as soon as that comes around. So y'all have a good day and que tengan un buen día ustedes.
Excelente día.